So this is video number 2 with Mr. Blaze Martinez. Um, we just talked about his transition over from working at the tire shop over to this industry, sales, commission only. Go check that out. And then right now we're going to go into a little bit of a role play so you guys can hear Blaze's script. For context, Blaze is one of our top guys in the office. Best month was 53,000 issue paid, which how much would you say you netted after leads and everything on 53,000?
Dude, I think I netted
Over
like
30?
39.
39, so close to 40,
40.
because your comp's over 100%. And then
Yeah.
year to date, you're at 146,000 issue paid premium. Definitely one of our top guys. You train now, manage a team. So, let's just dive in. I think the coolest thing for I wish I would have had is all the top producers. I wish I would have had live calls. And since we were doing in-home sales when I started, it wasn't as common.
Right.
Now we're doing telesales, just selling over the phone to leads that want our product. And so we can just record it. But let's jump into a scenario. So I'll just be our typical client. I'll be 75 years old, wife Cass, 74, daughter Monroe. Let's say she's however old, and she's married, kids, all that stuff. So beneficiary is my wife. And then should we do mortgage protection, or let's just do general life? Let's just do life, and I'll throw in some mortgage protection, and then I'll give you all the objections.
Okay.
So,
all right. So, all right. Hey, Ty.
Yeah, who's this?
Oh, this is Blaze. Just getting back to you about the request you sent in for the life insurance.
Yeah, Blaze. What kind of name is that, or how do I know you're not a scam?
Oh no, just my name, Blaze. So, anyways, Ty, when you were filling this out, you had down here your beneficiary is Cass. Is that right?
Yeah. What is this for?
This is for the life insurance. You sent it in. You got down here your date of birth. That's 12/31,
Okay.
1950.
Yeah, my wife is filling that out. I don't think we're
Oh
interested.
yeah, that always happens. I guess, do you have any coverage right now, or?
No, I mean we're good. We got savings and stuff, so I think we're okay.
Okay.
I don't. It's too expensive. I'm too old. It's too expensive.
Oh no, definitely not too expensive, Ty. Of course, my job as a underwriter is to find whoever's the cheapest for you, and then of course have the highest approval odds. Have you looked into life insurance before? Or?
Yeah, a couple years ago, my wife tried to get me to get some coverage, but it was just too expensive.
Got it.
I should have just got it when I was younger, but I'm too old.
Yeah,
now,
never too old. I mean, that makes sense. You were looking into it, probably had somebody show you something crazy high, and yeah, I mean that happens a lot. So I guess you guys were looking back into it. I mean, did something happen, or?
No, just I mean we're getting older. We're in our I'm 75 now. My wife's 74, so I mean getting older, but
that makes sense.
I just don't know if it's for me. I don't know if I can qualify.
Oh yeah, definitely can qualify. That's no issue at all. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, as we get older, we get closer to that day, so that's totally understandable why you're looking into it. Now, I guess as far as your health goes, I mean, how's that been in the last 10 years? Anything big like cancer, heart attacks, diabetes, anything like that?
No, I mean I'm healthy as a horse. Did have a heart attack and 4 stents put in 4 years ago, but I've been fine ever since.
Okay.
Go to the gym every day, do my walks, garden. I'm good.
So you're super healthy. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
And then medications daily. Are you taking anything other than for the heart, of course?
Yeah, I mean they got my I don't know what they are, but yeah, I just take whatever my doctor tells me. So
okay, do you have I don't know, some diabetes stuff, cholesterol, high blood pressure? That's just normal stuff.
Yeah, I got the diabetes, blood pressure, cholesterol. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You ever taken insulin for that at all?
No. I'm scared of needles.
Okay. Ever had any complications from the diabetes, like neuropathy or anything like that?
No.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, you're not a smoker, are you?
No.
Oh, okay, cool, nice.
Well, with all these why are you asking all these questions?
Oh no, I just get a gauge where to put you, Ty. Of course, there's no knockouts. These are just all. There's so many companies out there, and they all take different things. So I just want to know where to get you the cheapest price. And it seems like maybe you had a bad experience before, and they probably didn't do their job right. So, but anyways, let me take a look here now. What was your rough height and weight?
6 foot 200.
Okay, 6 foot 200. All right. Dude, so you might have played in the NFL, huh? Back in the day? Okay.
No, didn't play in the
Yeah,
NFL.
well, you should have. Anyways, let me take a look here now. Okay, yeah. So I'm just pulling up some options while I kind of get into these. Can you go grab a pen and paper for me to write down the details?
Yeah, let me grab that. Pause real quick.
Yeah.
So a couple things. We'll just dissect what you did there really well. So you did not change at all. You were just whatever I said, and I was throwing you just one-off curveballs of like the typical.
Yeah.
We work a lot of veteran leads, so sometimes they can be a little abrasive, right? Just I guess older people in general can be a little cranky.
Yeah.
So, but I was throwing you everything, and the key is what you did perfect was you didn't waver, and you just kind of agreed, said something and then asked a question. So when you ask questions, you remain in control.
Yeah.
And so and how many, like, what percentage of your calls would you say go like that, where they're just giving you stuff at the beginning, like how much is it going to cost? Just get to it.
Yeah, I think all of them, and
all of them.
if you're trying to rush me, I'm just not going to let you. So
yeah,
and that's really the big thing, because like if I speed up, then they're definitely going to give me a think about it or something like that.
yeah,
because I mean, then they really, I mean, if you think about it though, like psychologically, if you don't explain anything right, don't give a reasoning behind what you're doing, then like, I mean, you kind of are confused what you're getting. So
correct.
at least for me, I would probably be like, dude, like I don't even want this. It just doesn't make any
you don't
sense.
even know. Yeah, and I've always heard a confused mind will just say no, because not necessarily that they don't want it, but they're just confused. So the brain just defaults to, no, we're going to pass, or no, I got to think about it. And they don't know why they got to think about it. They just know that there's a disconnect.
Right.
So they'll just say, no thanks.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when we move into my next part, you'll kind of see where I make it click.
Yep.
So I guess, we can jump back.
Well, and last thing I'll point out, when you do have a kind of a hard, abrasive client on the other phone like that, those little subtle dad jokes of like, oh, 6 foot 200, you played in the NFL, didn't you? Like that stuff, which my reaction, I was totally not expecting. So that my reaction was actually probably what, I know what most clients, like if you, especially a guy 6 foot 200, you say, oh, you're built like an ox, or whatever they say.
Yeah.
That stuff works. So now not only have you just moved him along, but you've also brought his guard down, because if you can make him laugh, tell them, tell you about themselves a little bit.
Right.
That's how you know that they trust you. So, okay, we'll pick it up. So, all right, Blaze, I got that pen and paper.
Okay.
What do I need this for?
Oh, well, yeah, I'm just going to explain how all this works, because like I said, I mean, you told me you shopped before and then you didn't end up getting something. Yeah. So I just want to make sure we do it right the first time.
Okay.
I don't want you to have to keep calling people and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we'll just real quick before I write all this stuff down. How much is this going to cost? Like,
just give me the numbers. The portal's still loading. So while this is loading now, let me make sure I'm bringing up the right plans, Ty. So did you say that you're the main income earner in the house between you and Cass, or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And then what was your rough monthly income?
Well, why do you need to know that?
The carriers are just going to ask it. A couple of them want to know. Make sure that it's super affordable for you.
Well, I'm
going to place you in the right one.
I'm just on Social Security, so I make $300 or $3 grand a month.
Okay.
And then my wife, hers is lower than mine. She brings in $1,500.
Okay, $3 grand, $1,500. Well, I mean, that makes sense. Like, coverage is important, right? But it has to fit the budget, especially when we're on a fixed income, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, that makes, well, see, and I don't think the last guy had that in mind. So that makes sense. Now, I guess, do you guys have any debts, like a mortgage or, cars, credit cards, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we got the house. That's really like the kind of the main, thing, because we're just going to get cremated. That we just buried my sister. Hers was only like, or we just cremated my sister. Hers was only like $1,600, but the house is kind of our last big debt. So I was really looking for something to pay that whole thing off, because it's we got about 100,000 left on it. So ideally I want to pay that whole thing off if it's affordable.
Yeah, to take care of the house. That makes sense. So, I mean, I guess what's the monthly payment on that?
It's about $1,500.
$1,500. Oh, wow. Well, that, I mean, I guess, so just to recap, I mean, basically if you pass away, and then you said you had a daughter as well, Monroe?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And how old is she?
She is 50.
50. Okay. That makes sense. So, I mean, I guess what you're saying is basically if you pass away, Cass loses your income, there's zero way she keeps the house, right?
Yep.
Because, I mean, $1,500, that's her income as well. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what's she going to do about like all the other bills, getting you cremated, utilities, food.
Yeah, that's I don't know. We haven't talked about it, but that's kind of why we're looking.
So that's why you were looking into it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes total sense. So the portal is just still loading here, I guess. So just to recap one more time now, you told me you're 75 years young.
Yep.
And then you had a heart attack, like super healthy. I mean, you just only had like 3 heart attacks, 4 stents.
Yeah, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah, but forever ago. So you're still, I mean, you're doing great now, and that makes sense. So, and then like cholesterol, diabetes, high blood, that's all normal stuff.
Yeah, I'm healthy.
Anything else other than that you forgot? Maybe have you ever had any like cancer or anything like that in the past?
No.
Okay,
no.
Cool. That makes sense. Sweet. Well, this is coming up here, so I guess the main goal is really to take care of the cremation, and then give Cass as much time and options as we can, right?
Yep.
Basically,
yeah.
after you pass.
Yeah, I want the house paid off if we can.
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll take a look at a couple of different things. I mean, I guess, do you just want to see the most affordable option first?
Of course.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, on a fixed income, that makes sense. So let me pull this up.
Pause there real quick. So why'd you? I know why, but just to explain to people, why do you recap so much? Because I think I counted in my head like probably 3 or 4 times. You say, okay, now real quick, just to recap while my portal's loading. Okay, and just to make sure I don't miss it, like you just said that like 3 or 4 times. Why do you do that?
Keeping engagement. I love to keep them engaged, and then like since I don't do a lot of like why building in the start,
yep,
I like to come back to it and then just really give them a reason. So like recapping the health to tee you up for it being expensive, right? And then I can use that later on you. And then and then as far as like the bills and stuff goes, like just building the value, right? Like you have to have this because if you die, Cass is screwed, right?
Yep.
So value building in the income side, and then I kind of flip over to the health to tee him up for it's going to be expensive. He already knows that, right?
Yep.
And then I have a reason why.
What you did was the most underrated part that people, if they're new, they don't catch on was your tone. So when you ask me those recap questions, you're basically walking down the client down a path where you know what conclusion they're going to come into their mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're saying, okay, just I guess a ballpark, how much do you make? They say 3 and 15. So 45. Oh, and the mortgage is 50. Oh, like you already know in your head, like you can tell them, hey, well, obviously, Tom, 4,500 minus 1,500, like that's a pretty big bill. We want to cover that. You almost want to play dumb and like act curious and concerned of like, oh, I can see why we're looking at this. Because what that does is they come to that conclusion themselves rather than you just telling them like, hey, John, we need to do this, this, and this so that this isn't a burden. You have to get them to walk down that path themselves first and then say, oh, so basically, like, let me make sure I got everything straight. You're concerned about this, this, and this, so basically today we want to cover this, this, and this. Is that right? And your tone the whole time is like curious and concerned. And when new agents have a hard time, usually it's because they're too robotic, and so the emotion isn't pulled out, and the client doesn't come to that conclusion themselves. But with your tonality, that's what makes them realize like they kind of have like, oh no, this is worse. You're getting them to realize this is worse than I even thought, because they've never really, like most clients haven't really sat down and wrote, I make 4,500 now, mortgage is 1,500, I die, my wife loses 3,000. How's she going to come up with the extra money for the bills? They don't ever sit down and write that out. So when you have that aha moment, they're now thinking, oh, you're right. So now the urgency and the why is so much bigger, leading into the numbers. Is there anything you'd add to that on why you?
No, I mean, I'd agree. Like 90% of people have never had that kind of conversation.
No.
And especially when they get older, like income comes crazy down, and then, they really just know that, yeah, I got $200 extra for whatever, and then that's it. So like actually putting it in perspective, finding out the budget, that kind of stuff.
And then of course, when they rush you always blame the portal, and you always say, oh yeah, no, we'll get to that. My portal's just still loading. You know how technology is. Anyways, so you were saying that when you pass, you just roll back in.
Exactly.
And it's like this side conversation as Blaze the human, and then you're back on track as Blaze the insurance agent, right?
Exactly.
So, okay, so we left off, portal's just loading up with some options.
Yeah, so Ty, the portal's still loading, and then just last thing. So I mean, we want to take care of the cremation. You said you want to be cremated, right?
Oh yeah, that's the best route.
And then we have to make sure that Cass has time and options after you pass.
Yeah, I want the house paid off.
Okay, got to take care of the house. Got it. No worries. So now, of course, this is all based off age and health. So we're going to look at the most affordable option first. That's
Mhm.
what you wanted, right?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. Well, while this is loading up, it's still loading. I mean, dang technology. Anyways, let's kind of go over the benefits of this plan, okay?
Okay.
So this is a permanent plan, a whole life. Have you ever heard of those?
Yep.
Okay, guaranteed to pay out, all that good stuff. Doesn't matter how long you
Is
live.
there a waiting period on this one?
Nope, we're shooting for immediate coverage here, Ty. So
Okay.
basically, obviously, it's approval based, but once you get approved and activate the policy, something happens the next day, Cass is taken care of. So
Cool.
no waiting periods. And these ones are level 2. Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay, super important, and I'm surprised you haven't heard of it because on a fixed income, that's super important.
Yeah.
So your premium month to month, year to year, that'll never change.
Okay.
And it's always going to pay out the same amount as well.
Good. So it's not one of those where you gotta pay for it for 2 years and then it kicks in, or I turn 85 and then it drops in half or something like that.
Nope.
Okay.
Permanent.
Yeah, because my uncle got scammed by that. It didn't pay out.
Oh, yeah. Those are horrible. We're not looking at those. So, okay. And then these ones have living benefits as well. Have you heard of those?
No.
Okay. Might not apply to you, but basically, if you come down with like a terminal illness, you'd be able to access half the policy while you're still alive. So, no extra charge for that. It's just there on these new plans. So, super cool.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. How much is this thing gonna cost me?
No worries. Portal's still loading. Do you have any questions about any of that so far?
No, just the cost.
Okay, that makes sense. Sweet, cool. No worries. Now this is loading up here. Oh wow. Okay, yeah. It looks like you matched with Carrier Americo. Have you heard of them?
No.
Okay, been around since 1945. They're great. So they're coming back with a couple options here, Ty, and then we can adjust these based off your preferences. So the very first one, what it's actually going to do for you is take care of the cremation.
Okay.
That's priority. I know we need to get that done. And then it's actually going to take care of the mortgage for 6 months. So basically, Ty, if you were to pass away yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Today, Cass puts in a claim, and the insurance company is going to pay for that cremation and then also take care of the mortgage for 6 months. So it'll pay that mortgage for her for 6 months to give her time and options to kind of decide if she needs to downsize or, refinance, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Move in with Monroe. It just gives her time and options to kind of, have that time to get on her feet. You know what I mean?
So what does she do after the 6 months? Because I wanted the 100,000 and pay off the whole thing.
Oh no, of course. Like I said, Ty, we're looking at the most affordable thing first, right?
Mhm.
That's what you wanted.
Yep.
And then, of course, this is going to give Cass time and options to do exactly what I just said. So either refinance the house, sell it, downsize, move in with Monroe, whatever she needs to do and what her next steps are.
Okay. Yeah. Monroe will never let her move in.
Okay. Why is that?
I don't know. They just fight a lot.
Okay. They fight a lot. Well, yeah. And like I said, it's just giving her, she has plenty of options, right? And it's buying her that time she needs. Because remember, you told me that there's no way she stays in that house. It's going to get foreclosed on pretty quick.
Yeah.
Without your income. So
that's true.
Now, let's get back to the premium on that one because we can adjust this. Remember, this isn't set in stone. This is just the first option. So premium on that guy is coming back at only $100 a month.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now, I guess based off that one, just right away, is the price and the coverage amount, does that fit in your budget monthly?
Well, the price is good, but I was seeing these ads that say get 100,000 for 100 a month. That's kind of what I wanted.
Oh yeah. So basically, Ty, how those work, a lot of people just advertise based off of a 30-year-old who's super healthy and young and you can get something like that. Now, remember you told me you had the heart attacks, the stents. That's kind of just puts you at a higher risk, right? I mean, I know you're staying healthy, but the closer we get to that day, you're already 75, 76 rolls around. That's the average life expectancy. So these plans can creep up a little bit.
Okay. Well, that's definitely better than the last guys, but let me take a day. I don't have to decide anything today, right?
Oh no, we couldn't if we wanted to, Ty. Of course. Remember we talked about, these are approval based, right? So you're going to actually have plenty of time to talk it over with Cass, let her know what you got, make any adjustments that you need to. First step is just finding somewhere comfortable to start, get you in with the company, and then plenty of time to adjust later on. So
Hmm.
I guess based off that starting amount, $100. I mean, is that super comfortable in the budget? I know we need to, make sure this is seamless with the fixed income. So
Yeah, but what would 100,000 look like? I really wanted to pay the whole thing off because then she doesn't have to move in with our daughter, and you know, what's 100,000?
yeah, I mean, we can pull that up. I mean, realistically, it's just like taking out another mortgage. I mean, that doesn't make much sense, does it?
Oh, you're saying it's like almost 1,500 a month?
Yeah, it can creep up pretty dang close there. I'm happy to pull it up, but being on a fixed income, that probably just doesn't make much sense, right?
Yeah, I can't do that, Blaze. You know what? Let me, because I was really dead set on the 100,000.
Oh yeah, no worries.
But let me just take a couple days to mull it over, and I'll get back with
Mm.
you Monday.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, well, of course, remember, Ty, the insurance companies do have to mull it over as well. So the big thing is, like, I guess if you pass away tomorrow, you told me Cass loses the house. So the main priority is just making sure we cover our bases, make sure she's taken care of in the worst case scenario, and then we can adjust this later on, right? So
Hmm.
I guess based off that first option for $100 a month, do we need to decrease that down? It seems like maybe that one's not super seamless. Why don't let's just do this? How about we just crank this down to cover the cremation and then 3 months of the mortgage payments. That one's only $80. That's super easy, right?
Yeah, that's better. But I don't want to decide anything. I like both of the 80 and the $100. Those both fit my budget. Let me talk to Cass, and then is this your number? I can just call you back.
Oh yeah, I want you to talk to Cass. I mean, I guess just so we're on the same page, are we talking to her about, whether the coverage is important or if the price just makes sense in the budget?
Just I wasn't a little bit of both. I mean, I know the price is fine, but it wasn't. I was expecting 100,000, so I got to
Oh,
go make
okay.
sure
Yeah.
she wants this.
That makes sense. Well, I mean, I guess, do you think Cass would be opposed to, you know, having that money after you passed and giving her those time and options? Or,
What do you mean?
yeah, I mean, told me that you guys don't have anything right now. I mean, what happens to her if you pass away tomorrow? I mean, she's going to be in a tough spot. You think she'll have to like go pass the hat around at church or something like that?
Well, yeah, yeah. No, I got to do something, but I just want
Okay.
to I just want to talk to her.
Got it. Got it. So, yeah, I mean, it basically seems like we just need to find something that's guaranteed to give her some time and options if you were to pass away tomorrow, huh?
Yeah.
Do you think that would upset her if she had that?
No, definitely not.
Okay, that makes sense. So maybe it's more about kind of where we want to start. How about we just start with this, Ty? Let's crank this down now. Bare minimum, the cremation's got to be covered, right? Because
Yeah.
no matter what, she's got to out of pocket that.
Correct.
So let's do this. Let's look at just covering the cremation. That one's only $50. We'll start there, and then you have plenty of time to talk to Cass, make sure everything's cool, and if she wants to increase coverage, add on extra things, you just give me a call back. Super easy. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, no worries. Go ahead and grab your driver's license. I'm gonna pull this up here.
What do they need that for?
Oh, they're just gonna make sure you don't do any crazy street racing on the weekends. Verify your identity, that kind of stuff. Go ahead and grab that driver's license. I'm just pulling up the application portal.
Okay.
Cool.
Got it.
Cool. Go ahead with that driver's license number.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, sweet. And then full name Ty Cook,
Yep.
and then 12/31 of 50. That's your date of birth.
Yep.
Okay. No worries. And then what is a good home address for you, Ty? They're gonna ship the policy packet out there once you get approved.
123 Main Street,
All right. Born in Texas,
Taiwan.
Taiwan. Okay. How long have you been in the States?
My parents moved back when I was 2,
Oh, okay, sweet.
or 2 months old.
Oh, 2 months old. So you don't speak any Taiwanese, do you?
Nope.
Okay, makes sense. All right, and then just taking a look here, there's a couple more questions. 6 foot, 200, played in the NFL. Oh, my bad. You said you didn't play in the NFL. What do you do for work now?
I'm retired.
Oh, cool, nice. All right, sweet. Okay, and then just hitting a couple of different things here. Best phone number 12345.
Yep.
Cool, sweet. And then Ty, they don't do any blood work or physicals. Like I said, I just want to make sure you're not in the hospital dying now. Go ahead with your social for that.
Ooh, I don't want to. I shouldn't give you that over the phone.
Oh yeah, it's no worries. You got my business card earlier, right?
No, you never sent it to me.
Oh, definitely did. Maybe it didn't come through. Let me resend it, Ty. So go ahead and take a look at that. Did you get that? It just came through.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, that's got my license number on there, full name, picture of me and my wife, all that good stuff. So that's just letting you know that, we did all the background checks, all that good stuff to make sure we can write insurance. So, anyways, go ahead with your social.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Cool, sweet. And then let me just see here. Just answer no on all the health questions. Don't do any crazy like scuba diving, skydiving, paragliding, nothing
Nope,
like that.
never,
Have you ever done that?
never.
Never. Would you like to do that?
Nope, never.
Me neither. That's not my thing. Cool. All right. And then we're just getting to the beneficiaries here, Ty. Now, you wanted Cass to be the primary beneficiary, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then you said Monroe's your only daughter. Did you want to put her down as a contingent?
Sure.
Cool. Sweet. All right. Perfect. And then I'm guessing since this is immediate coverage, Ty, most people, they just obviously want this to activate immediately to make sure that their bases are covered. I'm guessing you're the same way.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. And then are you going to want to pay for this one with a checkings or savings account?
Oh well, I don't want to pay today. I need to get approved first.
Oh, yeah, no, we couldn't pay today. We got to get you approved, and then, of course, they're going to use that to activate the policy once it is approved. So,
Okay, just give me a call then once I'm approved, and I'll.
no worries. This is the last step, Ty. So, are you going to want it to come out of a checkings or savings account?
Checking.
Okay. Who do you bank with?
Wells Fargo.
Okay. All right. Well, sweet. Well, America works with Wells Fargo. They have a routing number here. Grab your checkbook for me. I'm going to confirm this routing number with you. Make sure it's right.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. It's 12345.
Yep, that's right.
Go ahead with the account number you want to use to pay for this one.
Ooh, I'm not gonna give that over the phone, Blaze. That.
Oh,
Yeah.
no worries, Ty. I don't even want it. They just need that to obviously activate your insurance once it's approved. You did want the insurance, right?
Well, yeah, but I just don't feel comfortable giving that over the phone. There's a lot of scams these days.
Oh, yeah, that makes total sense. I mean, dude, I'm the same exact way. Of course, that's why I gave you my business card. Now, let's do this, Ty. Let's go ahead and go on the Colorado Department of Insurance and let's look up my license number. That way you can see exactly who I am, that I'm licensed, that I did the fingerprinting, all that good stuff, okay?
I don't want to go through all that. I'm not too tech savvy.
Oh, you're good. I'll walk you right through it. It's going to be super easy. So, you got an iPhone, Android?
iPhone.
Okay.
I'll just give it to you.
Okay. Go ahead with the account number.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Cool. Sweet. Alrighty. And then, cool, dude. Well, sweet. Here's the last 6-digit code. Give me that, and then we'll be able to submit this off.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Cool. Sweet. Now, Ty, of course, if this is approved today, they're going to activate it tomorrow with that first premium. That's not going to be an issue, right?
You mean they're gonna charge me?
Yeah, if we get approved today, it's immediate coverage, dude. So they'll start it up tomorrow, and then if something happens to you, no worries.
Blaze, I don't know. I really want to talk to my wife. She's gonna kill me.
Oh no, dude, you got plenty of time. Like I said, it's plenty of time to make any adjustments. We're just making sure that your bases are covered. That's what we kind of decided that was the priority, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So any issues with them activating that tomorrow, if you were approved today?
I guess not.
Okay, sweet. All right, sweet, dude. Well, Ty, this never happens, but looks like you were approved, dude. So they're gonna, yeah, that's really rare, dude. They never approve people on the spot, so they're gonna actually activate that tomorrow, and then, dude, anytime you call me back, we'll make any adjustments we need. Okay.
So this is coming out tomorrow?
Yep.
All right, I'll let Cass know.
All right.
If she kills me, then can I give her your number?
You can give her my number.
All right.
But let's make sure she does not kill you.
All right. Well, thanks for your help.
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was awesome. So I think the overall, as we kind of wrap it up, I think the overall theme is like, obviously you did all that from memory. So it's muscle memory at this point, which means you memorize the script, you've gone through the reps, which is why you're good. First and foremost, that's why you're good.
Right.
Second, anything I threw at you, you just even keeled, and then you kept moving. Because sometimes, or most of the time, when a new agent gets those little curveballs, they answer. It's like, hey, no worries. What we can do is this. Then they pause, and then the client's like, nope, no thanks, bye. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't give me any like pause. It was just keep moving forward. And then one thing I'm curious to see, because we'll be doing these podcasts with all our top guys. You also use facial expressions when you talk, which Nick did, and I always have known that that's how you get so good. Is you almost get into this character, and you're really, that's where the tonality comes through. Is like your eyebrows are moving up and down, your face is moving the whole time, which means you're engaged, you're actively like in the conversation. So I try to, like you always hear, people can hear when you have a smile versus when you don't. That stuff is real. So that those three things I think were super underrated, or a reason why you're so good at this. The tonality is spot on. The pacing is spot on. You didn't waver. You just maintain control. And then your little subtle jokes here and there to kind of break the walls down. That's huge. So
yeah, and I think that was the big thing I kind of overcame. I used to stutter a lot. I can feel that. Like this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Confidence, like to keep moving. You know what you're doing. You know why you're asking for stuff. And just not sounding sketchy. I think that was a huge thing I overcame.
Yep.
And then it's just easy from there.
That's big. Well, as we wrap this one up, do you have any advice for people in relation to selling? Like any script tips, tonality, closing, any tips?
Yeah, I just think confidence, doing the reps to get the confidence, and then knowing what you're talking about. Because if you don't know everything about what you're actually selling, giving them, it doesn't make sense for them to buy it, right? Because you're not giving a reason. And then making it make sense between the why. So, you pass away, it's going to do this. This is why you need this. You know what I mean? So really digging into people's situation, that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
Huge.
Awesome, dude. Well,
Sweet.
Appreciate you.